Well, it's not all roses financially in the City of Roses. The mayor's State of the City address calls for more sacrifices, and the elimination of redevelopment funds make the budget woes even worse. Also, hiking tips that can save your life. All this plus CCN Weather and Sports on CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood, seconds away.
Do you have a great business idea? The Pasadena Enterprise Zone can help. The Pasadena Enterprise Zone, open for business.
Hi, I'm Jesse Avila at the Convalescent Aid Society, a nonprofit organization established in 1923. We provide the free loan of durable medical equipment, of hospital beds, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, and many other items. Your donations and contributions are welcome and greatly appreciated. We are located at 3255 East Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena.
We're here to help you.
Please give us a call and check for availability at 626-793-1696.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison. Before we get to our top story, we have some breaking news to report. CCN's own Tammy Devine and TK Trinidad were in the building around 2:30 this afternoon when a man with what was thought to be a gun ran into the Pasadena Enterprise Center on North Lake Avenue and headed up the stairs. Police carrying rifles told our CCN members to stay in the building and not come upstairs. Police say two men had been fighting and one carried a fake gun called an airsoft. Authorities did not make any arrests. The men had gone into the office of a tenant that they knew who sold tattoo supplies. One of them hit the tenant, but he did not press charges. Tammy, TK, and others in the building say the initial report of a man with a gun in the building was scary, and they were relieved when police said they were safe and that no one was seriously hurt. It was very close to home, so we're glad everyone in the building was safe. But now on to our top story. A couple of days after President Obama delivered his State of the Union speech last Thursday to Congress, Mayor Bill Bogaard addressed difficult budget issues with community leaders and residents Thursday at the annual State of the City speech. The spotlights were on at the Noise Within Theater, the new theater that recently moved to Pasadena. There, the mayor gave his speech to highlight the fiscal hurdles that may threaten some future plans for the city. CCN's Paulo Alejandria was there and joins us live to tell us more. So, Paulo, this was a really critical speech for the mayor. How did it go?
You're absolutely right. Well, it's depending on who you ask, but we'll just have to see if the verdict is still out.
Okay.
There's no doubt the city of Pasadena is faced with a lot of challenges right now. The mayor put these challenges at the heart of his address.
A seemingly eager crowd came out in anticipation of the mayor's State of the City address this past Thursday at Pasadena's newly opened A Noise Within Theater. The mayor's speech placed a spotlight on some of the challenges the city has faced this past year, challenges on the minds of many here.
Pasadena seems to be doing well, but of course they have budgetary problems like everybody else. So it would be nice to know where the monies that we have are going to be spent and where they're going to be prioritized.
Mayor Bogaard didn't mince words about what he wanted Pasadenans to take away from his speech.
Well, I want the people of Pasadena to have a good idea about the challenges that are facing our city. There are difficult financial issues that we have to face.
Perhaps the most difficult of these financial issues is the city's budget deficit of $6 million. The gloomy financial outlook also includes the loss of redevelopment funds starting February 1st and the cost of recent windstorm damages.
The accrued costs of about $17 million in cleanup and repairs to infrastructure could ultimately fall to the city. You can be sure that our efforts to pursue this recovery have never faltered, and they are continuing as we speak. But a favorable outcome is far from certain. This loss increases the city's budgetary pressures.
It costs a lot of money, and we're just going to have to figure out how we can come in and make sure that those costs are covered. But we're a resilient community.
And so with a looming budget deficit and budget cuts affecting a number of public services and institutions. The biggest challenge for Pasadena, as far as the state of the city is concerned, is how to remain positive with such an uncertain future.
Let me assure you, I have great confidence that this city will not only survive current fiscal challenges, but will achieve new levels of success and prosperity. But this will not be accomplished without sacrifice and without participation by all stakeholders, including residents, the business sector, and city employees.
While the mayor and some here remained optimistic about Pasadena's future, concerns still lingered for others.
I feel distressed because we're in such dire straits at this point, especially after the windstorm came through and practically blew us away. And I think monetarily speaking, I think we have a problem.
I'm encouraged because in spite of the fact that we're going through some crisis, the mayor made it so clear that we will survive.
Many who attended the mayor's address Thursday referred to the resiliency of Pasadena citizens. It seems that with all the challenges Pasadena must face in order to gain a sense of financial stability, that resilience will definitely be tested. Sehnita, back to you.
Well, thank you for that report, Paolo. And the mayor said Pasadena was preparing for its fourth budget year in a row with a budget shortfall. He cited the loss of 11 auto dealerships in the last decade as part of the woes. The loss resulted in a 30% decrease in annual sales tax revenue, which the mayor said was one of the primary revenue sources for many city services. He went on to say that, quote, "We can decide to be consumed by our numerous challenges, or we can place a spotlight on our performance and take actions that will set a positive course for the future," end quote. You know, we'll keep you posted on how the city's budget shortfalls will affect services throughout Pasadena. Well, as the mayor mentioned in his speech, another major setback to the city budget is the dissolving of redevelopment funds for the California cities. About a year ago, in an effort to balance the budget at the state level, Governor Brown proposed a budget that would dissolve redevelopment agencies, which are tools cities have been using for decades to improve blighted areas. This week, Pasadena and other cities prepare to dissolve their redevelopment agencies. CCN's Natalie Tavinian is here live with that. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Sehnita. It was a year ago that this bill was going to go through, and a lot of redevelopment agencies were asking for alternatives, and that's not what happened. The California Supreme Court upheld the enactment of Assembly Bill 1X26, or the Dissolution Act. After a long battle by many California cities to protect their redevelopment agencies, the court has made the decision that will now control the dissolution and the winding down of every California redevelopment agency.
A recent state Supreme Court ruling is forcing California cities to wind down their redevelopment agencies. The ruling upheld lawmakers' efforts to cut the agencies as a way to help balance the state budget. Some Pasadena city officials say the loss of the 60-year-old tool to combat blight is a major setback. Pasadena Chamber of Commerce President Paul Little says a loss of jobs is only one of the effects of the dissolution.
The redevelopment agencies are going to be gone, so the employer will not exist anymore. In the best case scenario, the local government will figure out some way to keep those efforts going.
Economic Development Manager Eric Deichart says redevelopment funding has helped upgrade and improve 8 sites in Pasadena. The money went toward fixing old structures and building affordable housing and other residential and commercial projects.
Best known one is Old Pasadena. People go there to shop and eat now, but 20 years ago, people would try and avoid that area because it was in decline. There weren't businesses there.
Mayor Bill Bogaard voiced concerns about losing redevelopment funds during his State of the City address. He says Pasadena's success couldn't have been achieved without the use of redevelopment funds. Paul Little says the loss may take business away from California.
We are going to again be at a disadvantage to Texas, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, places that do have state agencies that try to recruit companies from other states, and they can do it very easily because they can basically look at almost anywhere in California now and say, well, you know what, come to our way. Our regulations are simpler, our costs are less, we have employees for you. The only thing they don't have is the beach.
But the Legislative Analyst's Office, known to provide a nonpartisan look at the state budget, reports that redevelopment programs don't attract business to the state and that they sometimes divert property taxes from other local programs like schools. Still, Little says lawmakers took a very important tool away from California.
Well, the governor killed it. You know, quite frankly, I mean, Governor Brown and the legislature of the state of California killed redevelopment. Unfortunately, in doing that, they also killed about the only tool that local governments have to support economic development within their borders. And it's really a shame. You know, nobody argues that there wasn't a need for oversight and maybe more strict oversight. But what they've really done is taken away the opportunity for local governments to build their own economy. There is no mechanism left for local governments to capitalize on investments that are made in their community.
There were attempts made by lawmakers to extend the dissolution date from February 1st to April 15, but the Senate bill did not move through the legislature. Members of the California Redevelopment Association say it was a disappointment the bill didn't go through. They say the CRA, the League of Cities, and their lobbying team have identified problems that need to be fixed to avoid major chaos. Sehnita, back to you.
Well, thanks for that, Natalie. Now, Mayor Bogaard estimated that Pasadena would lose almost $30 million in revenues each year due to the elimination of the zones. According to the California Supreme Court, with the termination of redevelopment agencies, the successor agency will have control of all assets, contracts, and records of the RDAs as of Wednesday, February 1st, 2012. The Pasadena City Council report will have more info over the redevelopment issues and can be found online at cityofpasadena.net. Well, more than a dozen San Gabriel mountain hikers were trapped over a single weekend, and we have tips that could save your life if you plan to go hiking. And your CCN weather forecast coming up next. Don't go away. You're watching CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. Don't go away.
If your child is getting behind in school and needs help organizing, reading, writing, or studying, Klein's classes can help. Audrey Klein has been teaching for more than 20 years. Her book, Skills for Student Success, can teach your child essential learning tools. Klein's classes are affordable and conveniently available online. You can view the lessons and educational films anytime.
I've seen children jump 2 reading levels in 1 year. I've proven it over and over again.
Don't let another semester pass without getting your child some help. Visit kleinsclasses.com and get started today.
Hi, I'm Lori Webster. I'm the owner of Webster's Fine Stationers.
Hi, I'm Scott Webster.
You need to come and check us out because we've got great gifts for everybody in the family.
We have Fine Stationers by Cranes and Company.
We have some beautiful greeting cards, things that are unique.
A myriad of other things, so please come by.
And our phone number is area code 626-797-1135. And we're located at 2450 North Lake Avenue, Suite B in Altadena. Our motto is,
let's do something good today.
The San Gabriel Valley is full of beautiful canyons and trails for people to hike and enjoy nature. But sometimes those scenic trails can make for a dangerous journey if hikers aren't prepared. CCN's TK Trinidad is here live with more on that. TK.
Hi, Sehnita. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I absolutely love to hike. And what's fun about it, it doesn't feel like a workout. But the most important thing to keep in mind about hiking is to always have a game plan so the experience is fun and not life-threatening. A few hikers recently learned the hard way how a fun hike into the mountains can quickly turn dangerous.
Hiking may be one way for some to get away from a busy life, reconnect with nature, and get some exercise. But over a 28-hour period, one mid-January weekend, the LA County Sheriff's Department rescued 15 hikers and recovered one body.
We head up there, and Air 5 also met us up there, and they saw one of the hikers in trouble already, and they were able to hoist the hiker up into Air 5 and rescue them. And then 2 other hikers then got cliffed out in Millard Canyon, which means they got stuck on a cliff and they couldn't go any further. So our team and the fire department went up there and set up a rescue system, and were able to lower down on ropes and rescue those people and get them out of the canyon safely.
Emergency crews say some of those rescues would not have been necessary if they'd been prevented by the hikers themselves. Altadena Mountain Rescue volunteer Mark Allen says hikers heading into the hills should go well prepared to keep themselves from getting trapped in the wild.
I think a lot of our rescues could be prevented by planning ahead, having the right tools with you, flashlights, water, clothing, those sorts of things.
Authorities say another way hikers can prepare before their trip into the Angeles National Forest is by filling out a form on the LA County Sheriff's website, so rescuers have important details and possible location information in case they need to search the mountains. There's an average of 65 rescues per year in trails just like these that can be prevented if you just plan ahead and bring the proper equipment.
The most important thing is to plan ahead. Think about how far you're going, what time of year it is, what time of day it is that you plan to be hiking, and then make sure you bring all the essential gear you might need: flashlights, warm clothing, food and water.
Rescuers say besides the food, water, and flashlights, hikers should also pack a map and GPS so they can relax and enjoy their surroundings instead of getting lost and airlifted to safety. Also, loved ones should always know where hikers are headed.
Make sure you tell somebody exactly where you're going, what time you're leaving, and what time you plan to return, so that they'll know if you're delayed or something might have happened.
The Altadena Mountain Rescue Team assists in about 100 lost or injured hiker cases every year. Mark Allen says to try not to be one of the 100 by making a plan and getting prepared before hitting the trails. Sehnita, back to you.
Well, absolutely right. That must have been scary for all of those hikers trapped. Yes. Thanks for that, TK. No problem. Well, updates about hiker rescues or download the hiker safety forum, you can go to www.amrt.org. There are a lot of fun canyons and trails out there, so if you head up into the mountains, make sure you can get back safely. Well, this was one of those amazing Southern California weekends in January, and I'm sure many of you were out there hiking. Lots of sunshine and warm weather. CCN's meteorologist Curtis Peak is here live to let us know if true SoCal winter weather will roll in this week. What do you have for us, Curtis?
Well, good evening, San Gabriel Valley. That weather will roll back in a little later in the week. What we have right now, we have a weak low-pressure system that's moving across the San Gabriel Valley right now, which is going to stay with us for one more day into tomorrow. Tomorrow should be our coolest day of the week. The high tomorrow should be around 65 degrees. But if we wait until Thursday, we're going to see some heat again, so you can get back out there and you can hike. All right, currently outside right now is 58 degrees. Our winds are out of the west at 6 miles per hour. Our sunrise tomorrow morning is at 6:51, and our sunset tomorrow afternoon is at 6:21. As we take a look at our almanac right now, our weather headlines, we are going to see cooler conditions that are going to continue until tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be our coolest day of the week, and we are going to see that high pressure. That high pressure will build, but by the weekend, we are going to have dry and warm conditions. So stick around, stick in there for another few days, and we are going to see another beautiful weekend like we did. Our high today was 70 degrees. Our low tonight is going to be 55. Normally, we should be about 68 degrees. We're just 2 degrees above, but look overnight, we should be 43. We are a little above that, so we are where we should be in Southern California on the highs, with the lows, we are above our high right now. Our record back in 1989, 2003, I should say, was 89 degrees, and 1969, 29 degrees. Our lows for tonight, we are going to see 49 in Monrovia. Arcadia is coming at 44. Alhambra is going to be 50 degrees, and Pasadena is going to be our warm spot at 53 degrees. As we take a look at our highs for tomorrow, 66 in Pasadena, 65, 66, I should say. Arcadia is going to come in at 66 also, and West Covina is going to be our warm spot coming in at 68 degrees. Now, here's that famous 7-day forecast I love to tell you all about. As I said, Tuesday, we are going to see 65 degrees. We are going to see a lot of clouds out there tomorrow. Wednesday, the high pressure is beginning to build. We are going to see 80 degrees on Thursday. High pressure in full effect by Thursday, but by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, things begin to level out. Also on Monday, 79 degrees. Tomorrow night, 49 degrees. Our warmest night of the week is going to be 57 degrees on Thursday. That goes right along with our high for that day of 80 degrees on Thursday. So a few more days, you can get back out there and start hiking all over again.
All right, are you going to be on the trails?
I love to hike. I usually go up to Runyon Canyon. It's a great hike. It's less stress, than running outside, so I do love to hike.
All right, well, have fun out there. Thanks for that. We have some nutrition secrets that can help your athletic kids improve their performance when Sue Clark goes on camera with me. That's next on CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. We'll be right back.
The CCN Energy Saver is brought to you by Southern California Edison.
Hi, I'm Lena Petty with your CCN Energy Saver. I'm here with Southern California Edison's Dave Ford. Dave, can customers really save money on the compact fluorescent bulbs?
Well, Lena, first of all, I want to let you know how it's a pleasure to see you again. And of course, they can save money when they're using Energy Star rated type of lamps or any other type of product that is Energy Star rating. What I have to show you today is an incandescent lamp. As well as a compact fluorescent. This is an incandescent. This lamp here is a compact fluorescent. This lamp will save, comparing an incandescent to a compact fluorescent, it'll save energy. It lasts twice, 3 or 4 times the amount of hours of usage, and it doesn't put out as much heat. And it's definitely going to be a good product for customers to use when they're considering changing out lighting in their home to more energy efficient lamps.
Well, thank you for that information, Dave. Hopefully customers find it helpful. This has been Luna Petty with your CCN Energy Saver.
The CCN Energy Saver is brought to you by Southern California Edison.
Hi, I'm Jesse Avila at the Convalescent Aid Society, a nonprofit organization established in 1923. We provide the free loan of durable medical equipment, of hospital beds, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, and many other items. Your donations and contributions are welcome and greatly appreciated. We are located at 3255 East Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena.
We're here to help you.
Please give us a call and check for availability at 626-793-1696.
You know, when your child is running around, exercising, and playing sports, they're burning lots of energy. So how important is it for kids to have the right fuel when they burn and when they're active? We have Sue Clark from Juice Plus here live to tell us more. Thanks for joining us, Sue.
Oh, thanks, Sehnita, for having me.
Well, so tell us, how much of an improvement can kids see when they change their nutrition? How does it affect their athletic performance?
I think it's so critical. I think when people really think about the body and how you want to fuel the body for peak performance, that's exactly what we think of when you think about what you put in a car. If you want great performance out of a car, a sports vehicle, you put in the best gas. It's the same concept. When you want peak performance, optimal health in a child, you want to put in the best kind of fuel, and that would be whole foods.
Okay. And how do you convince your child of this? You know, maybe they're already a decent athlete. How do you say, well, you could be even better if you had healthier food?
I think a lot of it is education. Having 4 boys myself, I totally understand that it's so much about education and how it's modeled in the home. If the mom and dad also are very athletic and also very sports-minded, but they're also eating very healthy, it's a great way to model for children what whole foods are, and that if you want that competitive edge and optimal performance, really putting in the right kinds of foods into your body is really the way to go.
Okay. Well, now what we've seen with a lot of cities, that really money plays a lot into being able to eat well. How much money does it take? I mean, is that something just for the wealthy to be able to eat whole foods, good nutritious foods?
I think there is a perception out there that if you eat organically or if you eat natural, that somehow there is a big cost savings or, a cost issue. But what I like to tell people is every day of your life, you have 2 decisions to make. You're either going to invest in your wellness or you're going to subsidize illness or disease. So which is the choice that you would want to have? And I would think investing in wellness is really where it's at. But also there are so many things out there that are actually so cost effective. And that if you know how to shop, if you know how to shop around the perimeter of the grocery store, and you buy the fruits and vegetables and whole grains first, that actually does allow you to then be able to add on those maybe little things that you wanted to buy, but you want to buy those whole food items first.
Now, in a recent article in the LA Times, they were talking about childhood obesity and in poverty-stricken areas, that the kids just aren't eating as well. How can we close the obesity gap in these cities where nutrition is hardly spoken about? I mean, a lot of people, they're just used to what they eat. It might be a cultural thing. How can you change you basically have to start with the parents initially. How does that work?
Well, I think it's also a revolution. Jamie Oliver has a revolution called Food Revolution, and it really talks about parents and activists and community members taking a role about what is being served to our children, especially in communities that are more dense in terms of the population. Yesterday I watched a show called Fresh. It's a new movie, and it talked about how you can't have urban gardens in really dense populations. You can teach people how to grow a garden. You could teach them how to shop. You could teach them what kinds of food. So much of it is about education, really educating people so that they understand the importance of whole food.
Okay. Now, speaking of educating, you are hosting Juice Plus is hosting a number of seminars, bringing in doctors to talk about wellness and healthy living. You have one coming up. Tell us about that.
We do. We're very excited. At the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center, we have Dr. Paul Stricker. He's an amazing physician. He is actually one of only 150 in the country that's board certified in pediatrics, also in sports medicine. He was also an former Olympic physician for the U.S. Olympic team. He also wrote a book about sports success and the child's prescription to a really healthier life because he really wants children and youth to understand you want to have a positive experience, but it's what you put in your body that's going to help you to fuel the performance. How you're going to recover, because there's so much injury with athleticism or with sports. So he's going to share all these wonderful insights about how to do that.
Well, we got to keep the kids healthy. Where can they get more information on that?
They can call, either look at my website, www.pasadenajuiceplus.com, and if they're interested in the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center, it's a free public talk that will be held this Wednesday at the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center, which is a beautiful facility. You were there.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm sure you'll have a great turnout for that with the first of the year. So thanks for joining us, Sue.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Well, speaking of fitness, CCN Sports is up next, and Jaira Romero will tell us who's holding the #1 spot on the basketball court. Next on Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. Don't go away.
If your child is getting behind in school and needs help organizing, reading, writing, or studying, Klein's classes can help. Audrey Klein has been teaching for more than 20 years. Her book, Skills for Student Success, can teach your child essential learning tools. Klein's classes are affordable and conveniently available online. You can view the lessons and educational films anytime.
I've seen children jump 2 reading levels in 1 year. I've proven it over and over again.
Don't let another semester pass without getting your child some help. Visit kleinsclasses.com and get started today. Unleash your inner shark. Sharky Zartman's book, Shark Sense, reveals the 14 life-changing steps you can take today to start reaching your goals. Through her witty yet no-nonsense approach, Sharky Zartman unlocks the lessons we can all learn from sharks.
I use the shark as a symbol for your inner source of strength and power, the part of you that doesn't know the meaning of the word can't.
Stop settling for less and start living with confidence and purpose. Order Shark Sense today at sharksense.org and get in touch with your inner shark.
Jaira's here to let us know who's got the #1 spot after last week's basketball action. Jaira, who's got it?
Hi, Sehnita.
Hi.
John Muir's basketball boys are holding the #1 spot in the Pacific League this season with a 21-1 overall record. They beat Hoover last Friday with a final score of 55-33. CCN Sports caught the action-packed match between Muir and Burbank last Wednesday, so let's watch how a #1 team operates. Powerful start for Muir in the first quarter by making trips to the free money line and immediately establishing a solid foundation. The first 2 quarters include solid defense and offense from the Stangs and keep a tight 7-point lead over Burbank 22-15. Muir's passing game was fierce, moves were confident, and executed plays with ease. In the third quarter, Muir underestimated Burbank, who released the Bulldogs and retaliated for a Burbank lead 36-33 with 47 seconds left on the clock. Match quickly transitioned into a fast-paced and intense game. Fourth quarter rolls around with only 3 minutes and 24 seconds left for 46-37. Muir's up. Burbank's physical play results to fouling. Mustangs end the evening with a strong finish and a 54-42 victory due to solid team chemistry. CCN's top 10 contenders include #1 Muir, sitting at the top, and it's usually Pasadena. And Pasadena right now is sitting at #2, followed by Renaissance Academy, who made it on the top 3 list, Maranatha 4, 5 LaSalle, 6 La Cañada, 7 Flint Ridge Prep, lucky #7, #8 San Marino, South Pasadena at 9, and Blair made the top 10 at #10. Sehnita, back to you.
Well, you always make that exciting. Thanks for that, Jaira. Well, that's it for this newscast. You'll want to stay tuned for all-new Game Changers with Tammy Devine. We'll continue our New Year fitness theme this week as The Biggest Loser returns Tuesday with Season 13. Season 10 contestant Mark Pina-Hasovich weighs in with Tammy to give the skinny on how the show and how it changed his life. You won't want to miss this. Thanks to Sue Clark from Juice Plus for joining us in studio. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Southern California Edison, Wink Marketing, and the Pasadena Enterprise Center office building with available space. Thanks also to the CCN crew. They make this show possible. But finally, we thank you for watching CCN Crown City News. Join us each week as we cover the news in Pasadena and the San Gabriel Valley. For all of us here at CCN, I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison. Have a great week.